All right, let's do a little buy or sell struggling hitters in June edition. And we do have to do this a little rapid fire because we don't have much time left. But let's begin with Jack Caglianone, who had that 2-home run game a couple weeks ago, but otherwise, nothing. Lots of ground balls here. He's hitting 157 with a 460 OPS. And Chris, you can get us started here. Buy or sell, you should continue to hold Caglianone despite his struggles.
People always get mad when we say, like, you have bench spots for a reason. And they're like, well, I have to use my bench spots. No. If you're in a daily lineups league, I get that it's hard to hang on to pure stashes, which I think is what Jack Caglianone is. I would really try to hang on to him, though. He's a super talented player. You're not going to find someone with similar upside in most leagues. I would be trying to hang on to him.
You held on to Churio last year. You held on to Jackson Merrill last year. You held on to who else? Like, it basically takes at least 2 months. So if you care about upside, if you're not just flying by the seat of your pants every week, hold on to Caglianone.
What about Marcelo Ozuna? It came out on June 2nd that he's been playing through a hip injury, and for the entire month, not so good. 188 batting average, 2 home runs, 48% ground ball rate, not hitting the ball as hard. Overall, he's down to a 247 batting average, 770 OPS. Scott, buy or sell that you should bench Ozuna until we see something?
Well, I don't think it's unthinkable. I actually did bench him for Max Muncy in one 15-team Roto League where I was having trouble finding another place to start Muncy. So, that's a very hot hitter, obviously, who I think at this point in points leagues has probably outperformed Ozuna as hot as he's been. So Ozuna has had issues in the recent past with middling pull air rates, let's call it. Like when he's been bad, it's because his pull air rate's been middling. When he's been good, it's because it's been fairly high. And it's middling now this season. But I think most of that is about the ground balls themselves being like, he's just not hitting as many fly balls rather than his fly balls aren't being pulled as much. And so I find some solace in that. Like he still needs to elevate the ball. Clearly he says he's been saying recently his hip is feeling better. So whatever effect that had on his ground ball rate, hopefully he's past it. I think, look, I don't know. He's a guy in his mid-30s at this point, but I feel pretty optimistic looking at the data aside from the ground ball rate that Marcelo Ozuna is going to turn things around.
Christian Walker, oddly enough, June has been his best month, but that's not saying much. It's a sub 650 OPS each month this season. He had the oblique injury right before the season started. It's also his first season outside of Arizona, so perhaps there, is a bit of an adjustment here, but it's been half a season. Chris, buy or sell that Christian Walker is toast?
I think he's better than he has been so far.
Is he toast?
Toast.
I will sell that. I will sell that just because that is harsh.
It's too strong.
And I think toast implies that he will never be a useful player. Like, all right, the thing is,
he's
toast
warm.
has gradients too. I actually don't know. Like, do they still make toaster ovens or toasters with like the little dial and you put one for one toast and then you have like a 5 toast?
Do they still make toaster ovens?
Well, toaster, I haven't owned a toaster in like a decade.
You don't eat toast?
I use the broiler in my oven and it does the same. It gets the job done.
I don't have a toaster, but I have a toaster oven.
That sounds like is that a lot more effort? Yeah, I have a toaster. We don't have a toaster either, but a toaster oven.
Anyway, but like, how you have like the, like the one toast and you turn it all the way up and it's like, oh, this is 6 toast. You know what I mean?
Where is Christian Walker on the toastometer?
I think it's probably like a 2 out of 6, 3 out of 6. I think he's probably more toast than not, but it's not burnt,
He's like properly toasted. He's not, he's not like charred. Who's going to eat this?
You don't have to scrape the like super burnt parts off just to eat it. But I don't have a lot of confidence in him figuring it out either.
Is he droppable in shallow leagues, Christian Walker?
Yeah. I think in a 12-team points league, he's droppable. Yeah.
All right, next up, William Contreras, and we know that he's been playing through a fractured finger, and June has been his worst month thus far. 217 batting average, 650 OPS, a 58% ground ball rate, just 2 barrels in the month. Scott, buy or sell that this finger injury will derail William Contreras all season long?
Isn't it healed?
I don't know.
It should be healed by now, right?
Doesn't look like it's healed based on his June numbers.
No, it's in his finger, not his foot.
Yeah.
That's dumb. I'm sorry.
That was. We'll let it go.
I mean, broken bones don't stay broken forever, or really for that long in the grand scheme of things. So no,
I don't know how likely they are to heal while you're playing through it, though.
I don't think they'd let him play through it if they didn't have it so that it could heal. No, I don't think this is going to be an issue in the long run. He is the 5th best catcher this year, at least in points leagues, for what it's worth. So it hasn't been as bad as like a Christian Walker situation.
What about Tyler Soderstrom, who we mentioned earlier? He had the awesome April, and then he fell off in May, and he's fallen off even more in June. 227 batting average, 2 home runs, 655 OPS. He's been awful against lefties as well, 529 OPS there. Overall, the expected stats still look good. Chris, buy or sell that Soderstrom is a bench until we see something?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. The struggles against lefties are a real concern, and he's actually turned he was striking out way too much in May. It was like probably close to a 30% strikeout rate, 37 times in 120 plate appearances. It's only 18 times in 101 so far in June. Well, it was only 18 and 101 in June. So that's a good sign, but he's also just not hitting the ball nearly as hard. And that's continuing a multi-month trend where his quality of contact has gone down every month since April. I'm not sure he should be an everyday player because of his struggles against lefties. Yeah, I think Soderstrom is certainly not a must-start player.
Is he a drop anywhere?
I think in points, I think it's fine, yeah.
All right, what about Jackson Merrill, who we know missed a month with a hamstring injury and then a week on the concussion IL, but 37 games since May 13th. He's hitting .213 with 1 homer, 0 steals, and a 600 OPS. The quality of contact during that time is awful. Even with that, his expected numbers still look good. It's just, I don't know. With the way things have played out this season, I don't know how much to put into expected stats right now. Scott, buy or sell that we got duped by Jackson Merrill last year?
I sell that. I think we need to give him his summer. Obviously, there have been some fits and starts here with the injuries, and a lot of. I mean, I know you say you don't want to put much on the expected stats, but his expected batting average is 96th percentile.
Yeah, it's still 304. It's actually higher than last year.
His expected numbers are actually better than last season.
Yeah. So, no, I want to give Jackson Merrill more time. He's too talented. His rookie season was too productive.
Theory. There's a Space Jam situation going on where Michael Harris, Yainer Diaz, Ozzy Albies, and Jackson Merrill, all these super aggressive but plus contact and power guys, they've had their skills taken. And you know who took it? Pico Armstrong. That's why Michael Harris and Jackson Merrill and all these guys stink. It's because Pico Armstrong has stolen all of their bad ball hitting abilities.
He's got some Hollywood connections. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is true. I thought you were going same team. I thought you were going to go with Gavin Sheets stole all of Jackson Merrill's.
No, it's specifically just the terrible plate discipline, good hitter guys.
All right, last name to talk about is Mookie Betts. And honestly, I could have had all the Dodger hitters not named Max Muncy on this list because they have all been pretty rotten in June. Teoscar Hernandez, Freeman, Tommy Edman. Well, let's focus on Mookie Betts, who's down to a 249 batting average, a 707 OPS. His June, he's hitting 240, just 1 homer, 1 steal. Quality of contact is way down. He had that illness right before the season. Perhaps that has played an impact this year. Buy or sell that this is a legitimate decline for Mookie Betts.
I'm starting to buy it. I mean, he's 32. It wouldn't be unusual at that age to lose some of your strength. I mean, maybe it is tied to that illness where he lost all that weight in the season. I imagine it would be hard to regain that. I mean, as long as he was sick, it wasn't just water weight he was losing, and I imagine it would be difficult to gain that back when you're playing baseball every day. So it could be that, but that doesn't really help for the rest of this season, even if it is. And yeah, the fact that his exit velocities, which apart from a couple of seasons were never that high to begin with, but now average exit velocity has dropped a couple miles per hour in a year where the ball isn't carrying as well. So that's going to affect middling exit velocity guys more. I am starting to become genuinely concerned about Mookie Betts. I think he's going to remain must start. He's performed as well as that at least, but is he going to perform like an early rounder?
I am not sure if we did or when we do the re-ranking the first 2 rounds or redrafting the first 2 rounds. I'm not sure he makes it. I'm not sure Mookie Betts is a top 6 shortstop right now. That one's pretty close. And he's probably a top 10 outfielder rest of the season, but
it's a close call.
If Jackson Churio or Jarren Duran wanted to push him, it wouldn't take much. It's just those guys are pretty disappointing so far too. But like Trey Turner or Mookie Betts the rest of the way, I'll take Trey Turner.
Yeah, me too.
CJ Abrams versus Mookie Betts, I think that's really close. If I had more faith in CJ Abrams avoiding the second half drop off that we saw last year, I think I'd go ahead and do that. And part of it is just the drop-off already happened last year. The quality of contact metrics were significantly worse last season than they had been in a really long time. His expected WOBA on contact last year was 357. That was his worst since 2017. Remember, 2023 was the best of his career, or the second best, I guess. And he seems to have lost a little bat speed. He's not generating quite as much power. Again, I still think he's a must-start player. Really good player. It's just, I don't know if he's like a true difference maker anymore, Mookie Betts.